So if you don't have fixed shifts and want to work with flexible shifts, you can allow the machine operator to start and stop the shifts instead. And with this feature, you can still prepare a schedule with shifts like this. For example, typical work hours. But then you can allow the operator to modify the shifts at the beginning and end of the shift. For example, on the right side, I'm opening now so now you can see the shifts here, team A, team B, that I prepared here before. And we have several scenarios here. For example, let's say the first scenario is that we have started a bit later than normal. In that case, I'm choosing start shift. And now I have the option to start the current shift. This shift we're inside right now. I can change the start time so it starts now instead. I click there. Now the start time moves to this time. I can also do the opposite. I'm changing it back here. For example, we have been working in team A and now team B is taking over a bit early. Then we can also start shift, but now we want to start this shift early. So I choose this other option, start next early. And that moves both team A and team B shift to the current time. And lastly, when team B has been working a while and it's end of the shift, they can choose. Actually, we have two options. Let's say team A has been working over, and only now team A is quitting. So now we can stop the A shift. We choose stop shift and choose to stop the A, which will move it forward to the current time. And lastly, at the end of the B shift, we can click stop shift and end the B shift. So far I've shown you how to use flexible shifts when you already planned shifts. But let's remove them completely. And if you haven't planned, you can still start and stop shifts. You can start a shift, and now you can choose any of the available shift groups. Let's start the morning shift now. So you get a shift, we plan it ahead a couple of hours. It doesn't matter if you're running longer than this, you can still use the stop shift and extend the end time. But for the demo, I'm going to zoom in very close like this. And at the end of the shift, you can click stop shift. But let's say we're starting the afternoon shift instead. You can click start shift again. Okay, it was not an option. You can have to first stop the shift and then start the afternoon shift like that. So this is a flexible shift option. The start and stop buttons are only visible to users who have the permission to use this feature. So you can turn it off in user settings by simply not unchecking that box. And I'm going to jump quickly to that. So if we're looking at the terminal user, terminal 1, we have a permission here that's called edit shift using flexible shifts. That one is not checked here, which means if I log out and log back in as terminal 1, you no longer see the buttons and you don't see the shifts either. So if you don't want to use the feature, you can have a clean experience. But if you want to use the shift feature, for example, as another user, it's available like this. And it can be enabled on a per user basis, which I will get to later. I suggest you have one user, not per person, but per terminal. So you can enable and disable this feature on different machines, basically. If you have a night shift, maybe you're working from 6 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock the next morning. And typically you have night shifts that looks like this. And the question is then, how can you use this navigation to, because when you choose a day, you only get from midnight to midnight and not matching this adjusted day. And there's no solution for that, but I take that as a good feedback, because when you do shifts over midnight, when you come to generate reports, you can make a report on Friday and including the whole night shift into the Friday report. And you do that below by the option, for example, of offset day start, like this. And now you see from 6 o'clock to 6 o'clock. But it only applies to reporting, not navigation. So if I click go to Sunday, we still get from midnight to midnight. But that's something we can take into account and perhaps use this setting when navigating.